We're live.
We are live.
Okay, let's see if we're going live here as well. This is the first three-way. This is the first three-way I was ever
It
in.
feels like a five-way.
It does feel like a five-way. We have Dead Hedgehogs Instagram. We have $3 left Instagram, and we have Dead Hedgehogs
YouTube.
YouTube right over there
Hello,
in our
YouTube.
fancy new studio. By the way, can everyone hear us on all three platforms? We're going to give it socks on the Instagram for a little bit, and then we're going to continue it on, extend it on the YouTube channel, on the Dead Hedgehogs YouTube channel. So if you're on YouTube, head over to the Dead Hedgehogs page, subscribe firstly, and then join in the old crack. What is the crack? What is happening, Cowboy? I tell you what's happening now. We're having a little chat about creamy pints, seeing as it's International Stout Day.
Yeah.
So it is. And as I've been synonymous with creamy pints over the last number of years, I thought we'd have a bit of a podcast on it. Hi from Oz. Cheers, Georgia. How are things from Adelaide, to be exact? I hope you're keeping well down under. You're a few hours ahead of us. Am I correct?
That's
I am
definitely
correct.
going to be the busy phone.
That is going to be the busy phone.
Even
But sure,
though-
listen, we'll build it up. We'll
even
build
though
it up
there's
on the
some
Dead
on the
Hedgehogs
Instagram page.
Instagram as well. But anyway, let's get into it. We're a little bit late.
You drinking
Because-
coffee.
I'm drinking coffee. That's how late we are. We're drinking coffee. Although it's
Yeah.
Stout Appreciation Day, I'm going drinking coffee because I was waiting that long for you to set up the lives.
I'll be honest, it's been a little bit of a nightmare the last half an hour.
It has.
It's,
But we have all new equipment. I'll show them around the new studio. Look at that. Studio screens, Black Magic camera.
lighting.
We have the laptop. We have the other phone. We have, what's this called?
That's called a switchboard.
A switchboard. So we're getting up there. We're getting all the material together, and we're going to be back doing live podcasts again very, very soon.
Jason
coffee.
Simmons is
Coffee.
just after jumping over to the YouTube page
Excellent.
from the
Cheers,
Insta.
cheers, Jason.
What a man.
Cheers,
fair play to
Jason.
him.
Let me find a pint. Head off there, find a pint for yourself. There's nothing wrong
Nothing
with
better,
that.
nothing better.
So let's get into it. We'll get into the pints straight away, and we'll take a few questions as we can. But we're going to talk how's from New York. What is the crack? Oh, Neil, how are things with you? Are you enjoying a few creamy pints? We had some crack over New York. I think you were at 3 of the shows, were you? It was mental crack.
Should be part of the show at this stage.
It should be part of the show at this stage.
Get three in part of the group. Right, let's get started, okay?
Yeah.
After having a pint with you earlier.
We did. We had
It was
a lovely pint in probably my favorite pub in the world, and that is Mellett's in Swinford.
Not to single anyone out.
Not to single anyone out. There's
just
some,
to tell everyone else
yeah.
to up their game.
yeah. There's some brilliant
hard,
pubs.
to be honest.
I've had some brilliant pubs. I've had some. I've been in some. But Mellett's will always hold a little
ran from
bit
some
of.
too.
I have been ran for some. I've been ran from Mellett's. So I
That's
have.
how much you love it.
How are things from Boston? How are things, Jennifer Anderson?
Amanda said hello, lads, from the YouTube. Chat.
Excellent. How are
Chat's
things,
gonna
Amanda?
get-
Are you well?
I feel we're gonna get steady. Anyone that's on the $3 left Insta,
Yeah.
or the Dead Hedgehogs Insta, do jump onto the YouTube page and
Yeah.
support us there.
100%. That would be great because that's where we're going to continue on. So we want to keep plugging into the Dead Hedgehogs YouTube channel, and then we'll be doing live podcasts like we used to, and we're going to up the ante. We have the equipment now, and it's just something, especially for the winter. I think podcasts are a winter thing.
Yeah. I think it just adds as well.
It
It's
does.
just an added. It's something to keep us busy.
Exactly. It's a long form platform that maybe fills in the gap when you're not doing live shows and stuff like that. But pints, we're here to talk about pints and the love of pints and how we got
what
along.
These guys will want to know is about your starting the drinking game.
Starting the drinking game. I actually started drinking very late compared to my friends. Not that I had any friends.
It still don't.
But yeah, it was like 17, nearly 18. I was going to be a pioneer.
What? Were you religious as a kid?
No, not a bit. Well, do you know what? I used to say my prayers before mass or before bed, for about 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, until I was about 8 or 9, and then at
Well, I
about
think we all do that.
yeah,
When
and then
we
about
go
10 or 11, I found out about wanking.
right,
Yeah, so that was my bedtime
because
pastime.
God out the window,
Yeah,
wanking in the window.
yeah. So that took over from the praying. You go from praying to wanking in around 11 or 12. It's a normal transition. But yeah, so I think it was because a lot of my family were not alcoholics but heavy drinkers or mad for the crack.
It's hard
Just
and
hard,
hardened
not
into
just
the crack.
not just heavy drinkers, but absolute
Crack addicts.
lunatics.
Yeah,
Yeah, lunatics. And I suppose growing up, it frightens you. It frightens to see your uncles, your father, having the crack and just going nuts on
taking it
drink.
too far. Like.
Yeah, taking it a little bit too far. And I said I was going to not drink, but whatever happened to me around
Well, you
late
lasted. You
16,
lasted.
I
You
did.
lasted a long time.
17, nearly 18. Then for some reason I said, "Fuck this." Why should I be the dry bastard?
And in fairness to you, you took to it like a duck.
I did. I took to it like a pro. It would have been an awful shame if I actually became a pioneer.
Do you think you would have gone? That could have started a career in the priesthood.
No.
I can imagine, like you've got
No.
the slick look of a priest.
Do you know what?
A trendy
I
priest.
understand where you're coming from there, but I was too big into the wanking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, so would they.
And yeah, well, that's true
So
too.
that's-
Well, they're
That's a different podcast.
they go one step further.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Naughty
we
boys.
won't talk about that. No, but no, the priesthood was never an option for me. I liked the ladies a bit too much.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I started drinking, and I started drinking pints of Guinness. Would you believe?
That was your first pint was Guinness.
First pint was Guinness. Yeah. Now my first drink, I'll tell a lie. I tell a lie there. My first alcoholic beverage was an orange Bacardi Breezer.
Yes. I
Yeah.
think mine might have been similar, but it was like a bottle of pop. And
Yeah.
I think I was like 14.
No, I was definitely nearly 18, and then I went from that. I can't be drinking these all the time. A, you look like a girl, and B, do they even do them anymore?
I don't think so.
I've never seen them.
Marketed at teenagers.
Yeah, they were. Do you know I haven't seen a Bacardi Breezer or even a Smirnoff Ice in years? Do they still do them in the pubs?
I don't know.
That's a tricky one. Anyway, so then I got into the stout, and I hated it.
You
I
hated
absolutely,
pints.
I hate.
My first.
I think
pint-
everyone hates the
Yeah, my
pints.
first pint of Guinness, I was like, what am I doing with this shit?
Yeah, like I was like, why? Why would you put yourself through this?
Yeah.
And then I suppose I got to enjoy the first few, and after I'd say about 3 or 4 nights out, I started to sort of enjoy it. And for some strange reason, as you do when you're a young fella, you actually think you can drink.
Yeah.
And next thing you start walloping them down, getting them down as fast as you can. And I had money because I was working. Whether I was at work, I'd be working the weekend. So I actually had money because I worked for my father plastering. So I was able to afford a few pints for myself. So one night then, after about 4 pints, I was getting brave, and I thought I'll swamp the 5th one. Do not know why. I don't know who I was trying to impress. I was in the
Must have been a girl.
no, I was in the Hagen. There hadn't been a girl. There hadn't been a girl in there in 1960. But who remembers Woody's and Hutch? Yeah, I do, 100%. They were the same as the Bacardi Breezers. But yeah, so I started. I started drinking the pint off the head, and it wasn't down me. I'd say 2 minutes. And at this stage, my parents, even though I was nearly 18, didn't know that I was drinking, and I didn't want them to know either. But I went out and I got absolutely so sick. I mean, so sick. I vomited for, I'd say, 3 days.
No way.
Yeah, I hung out in a friend's house, made some excuse up, stayed there all day the next day. Just didn't come home.
Yeah.
That was all right. But
back in the day, you could like three days away from home and just making excuses.
Yeah,
That was it.
I suppose so. I'd say, did I even have a mobile phone at the time? I was late to have a mobile phone as well. I think I might have had a mobile phone,
Yeah.
not a smartphone. I don't even think there were smartphones
Okay.
around at the time.
What if
What are you trying to say?
Well, I'm sure it's not. Come on now. But yeah, so
So I went off. I went off it then, and then I tried all sorts. Heineken, Miller. I tried them all. Whatever was going at the
yeah.
time.
Usually you circle back together. You don't usually tackle the Guinness straight off.
Yeah, I did because probably Martin, my uncle, and best friend at the time, and still best friends.
Although
Um,
he tests it.
um,
But it's okay. He won't be watching this.
that is true. Uh, he um, he was drinking Guinness, so I probably was drinking Guinness with him. And but I went out. I couldn't even smell it. I couldn't. I remember someone making me a Guinness stew once, and I got the smell of the Guinness, and that was enough to make me sick.
Really?
Yeah. When will we see? When will we be doing gigs next year? We will be doing them. There's a big show going to be announced for the Christmas time, and then a tour then for next year, and we're going to change it up a bit. But anyway, getting back to the pints, yeah, I could not even smell a pint of Guinness or a pint of Stout. It would just regurgitate, and that went on for years. I couldn't. I even drank
So what are you
wine.
drinking instead?
Oh, of vodka,
Always vodka.
vodka. Yeah.
What about any other pints?
Not really. I tried cider for a while,
Yeah.
especially in the summertime. That cut the stomach with me. Not that the vodka didn't.
Yeah.
you know,
The
but
sweetness of it.
yeah. The Bulmers, and then I went on. But I was vodka. I used to go. Oh my God! I used to go and get a bottle of vodka. This is when I turned 18. I'd get a bottle of vodka, especially then I moved to Galway for a little bit. Get a bottle of vodka, drink the bottle of vodka. That is no joke. Myself and James O'Brien, we'd drink a litre bottle of vodka before we went out
Really?
at all. Yeah. Yeah. Is it any wonder we got into so much trouble?
Wow.
Um, yeah, it was just, we'd drink anything, but it was definitely vodka to start the night.
Yeah.
And then you'd head out and go away, and then you continue, but definitely you wouldn't be drinking. I wasn't drinking pints of Stout, that's for sure. And
It's
yeah,
funny how you tackle it. Obviously, you were working as well. You were working young.
I was working young, yeah. And
Even though I
the
was
the
working young myself.
yeah the
You
the
know, you
weekends
just kind of
the
got to
week
the weekend
the
and
weekends
powered
was
into
like
it.
Friday night. You'd be working a half day on Saturday. Sometimes you'd miss it,
Yeah.
but working for your father, you weren't allowed away with much. And at the time as well, I had a house built, maybe two houses built at
Yeah.
that stage. I had two houses built by the time I was 20, and it was like way too much time.
But if
You ruin yourself. That's how
And-
I ended up with a heart attack at 28.
Yeah.
Thought I'd just get it in there once again in the live podcast.
true,
Mention the fact that I nearly died three times.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, did you?
Finance,
Yeah.
But when you think of it, like it was lively then. Like town here was lively Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah. Oh,
Every
Swinford,
pub was
aka
busy.
Castletown. There was a queue of about, there'd be 17 to 21. I actually counted them one night. That's how I know. 17 to 21 taxis from the Greenies, from the top of the town down to the bottom where the bridge is, lined up one after
Yeah.
another at half 11, 12 o'clock to go to nightclubs in other towns.
In other towns.
Yeah, but in saying that, they were coming to this town as well,
Yeah.
because the buzz was there, the nightclub was there. It was a complete shithole,
Yeah.
but people still went to it.
Yeah.
It was where
It's because they go to June's.
or Julian's was a big spot, but the buzz really was where old women with dodgy pasts meets young fellas with no futures. It
Yeah.
really was like
it.
that. But
There's not enough of them now. These days,
no, there's no dives anymore. They're all fancy
Yeah,
out spots,
yeah.
boring as
They've
fuck.
all got like copper light fixtures and like these old fluorescent looking tubes in them. And,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
fancy leather, black.
Oh,
black
stop.
paint everywhere.
Yeah.
Black
Man.
paint is the new thing.
Avant-garde.
Yeah.
But
1920 speakeasy jobs.
but then I suppose, obviously I got back into drinking Guinness, and
you made a right attempt the second time.
I made a right attempt the second time. I got it right. Yeah, I
Jade says on YouTube this is like a live Alcoholics Anonymous.
It is a little bit
Kind of
jade,
is a
yeah,
little,
yeah.
yeah.
With a bit of,
I'm Chris and I've got a problem.
but yeah. So then I started. I went on a date. That's how I started drinking Guinness again.
Just to show, she was like, "What are you, man or a mouse?" And
Yeah.
you were
Well,
like,
no,
"I'm
no,
a man."
no. No, it was nothing to do with with that side of things. How is the sound? By the way, guys, the sound is good.
That's
Um,
my main worry, to be honest.
where
The
is the
sound, but it seems to be
slow
fine.
set? Yeah, bring back the slow set. Murphy's or Guinness? I'll answer that in a while actually, because I'm going to go through all the different stouts that I've tried on the YouTube channel later on. So I'll give you my answer to that over on the YouTube channel. So where was I? Yeah, I was on a date in Dublin, and we went to the Guinness storehouse.
Okay.
Right now,
In fairness, there's a
brilliant.
lovely bar at the top.
There
The
is a
Stout
lovely bar,
is
but the
the
whole tour is brilliant.
it's. I don't know when did you when how long ago was this that you did?
And the 40s.
I was thinking they were pumping pints of Guinness
No,
out.
that would have been that would have been 10 years ago anyway. If not, yeah, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So 2013, maybe 2012, 13,
Okay.
14, 14. No, 13, 2013.
So I was living up there at that stage.
You
Right.
probably were, yeah, yeah, you were, yeah,
We were
because
hanging
yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah, we did, we
Um,
did.
what you got? We at that stage. I don't. They've gone. Everything's now all information boards and it's not.
Oh, have they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, okay, it was a little bit more authentic when I went in it. There was none of that. Can I split the E? No, but later on I might be splitting the G.
Not mine.
No, it's definitely not yours. Um, but yeah, so I went in and it was absolutely fantastic. I love all that history. I love Irish history. I love Dublin history. I love Dublin.
Dublin's a good town.
Yeah,
Great
I
city.
love Dublin. I love the
Spent
history of
a lot
Dublin.
of
I love the
time in
crack in Dublin. I know an awful lot of people say bad things about it, but I won't have it.
I won't have that.
I won't have it.
I've had
I won't have
a lot
it.
of good times.
I won't
in
have
Dublin. Yeah. So anyway, the Guinness storehouse.
Yeah, so went to the Guinness storehouse, and I did not know this, but they make you. They don't make you, but you can pour your own pint, and that's the first time I poured a pint. Poured me pint, poured her pint because it comes free with the ticket. I didn't know that either, and they said you can keep them now, and you can bring them up to the bar. Is it called the Gravity Bar?
Yeah, the Gravity Bar. Well, it was the Sky Bar.
Oh, was it?
back in the day,
Oh well, I think it's the Gravity Bar now. But anyway, went up to the Gravity Bar. We had 2 pints of Guinness, and being a man from the west of Ireland, there was no way I was going to spill them pints or get rid of them or lose them. I was going to have them pints one way or another. If I had to put them up my hole, they were they were
That'd
getting
be
in,
quite
they were getting inside me.
that would be quite the trick.
That would be quite the trick. So, do you ever see the Jackass episode where he puts the yard of ale up his ass? I only started watching Jackass the other day with with my
Are you
uh,
serious?
with my 14-year-old daughter.
I was at the
which is
premiere for
great
that. Yeah, that's,
Dadden.
yeah, that's great fatherhood.
Um,
I was actually at the premiere for that with
oh yeah,
the lads.
in
Yeah,
Dublin,
yeah,
class.
it was quite the after party.
I bet it was, as all the after parties are. Um, when you're talking about Irish history, just home from a day trip to Glasnevin Cemetery. The only tour that was better than Glasnevin Cemetery or the storehouse is the Glasnevin Cemetery. It's absolutely incredible.
I'd
Get
say
to it.
Kilmainham Jail would be.
Do you think? I haven't done Kilmainham Gym. The ones that I've been on, Glasnevin Cemetery
Kilmainham
is
Jail
the best.
good.
I've been in tours in New York, Boston, the one in Glasnevin. When it's done right by one of the tour guides, they're incredible. They're so knowledgeable, so witty, so funny.
Jail is amazing as well.
I must check out that actually. But anyway, we were up there with the 2 pints. She wasn't going drinking, so I said I'm going definitely drinking my one, and it was absolutely gorgeous. And then I finished the two of them, and then I never ever looked back. It was
There you go,
it was
lads.
creamy
Yeah.
Pint Central from there on in.
Jimmy really goes.
Are you
"Swell,
coming
man."
to go on?
He goes, "Swell, man. How you keeping Dearman?"
Good, Jermith. Very good.
Fair play.
Am I coming to Vancouver? We would love to come to Vancouver. We were asked so many times, but the communications broke down. Maybe on my part, I didn't get back quick enough because I get so many messages, as you can imagine, between all the pages. I need to lease that out to someone to take over because I'd say I'm losing contacts because of that. Gravediggers, incredible pub in Dublin as well, beside the
Oh,
Glasnevin,
yeah,
incredible. Probably the top three pints in the country that I've ever had. Um,
it's good. Great
it's very
diggers is
good.
good. Solid,
Irish Newfoundland beer, Cowboys Mike, is a bit hot. Is it?
maybe.
Is
Well,
it peaking a little?
I've toned it down
Maybe,
slightly.
maybe I was talking too close to it. My apologies for that. I get excited when I talk about
It doesn't
creamy
seem to be
pints.
doing too bad.
It doesn't on the old
We're
stratosphere here.
we're keeping it on. We're keeping it.
So yeah, so then I started into the creamy pints, and then it became a thing on social media as well when I had the page on social media. And I think the first one, the one that took off, was the one where and I wasn't even going to do it. It was a TikTok that I just put on all the pages, where I'm looking sideways, and I do a stitch or
Yeah.
or thing with the lady, with the good looking lady.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
wouldn't you
yeah.
wouldn't kick her out of the bed for eating monster munch. Um, when she goes, I'm not going to flirt with him, and then she turns to me,
Yeah,
and I drink the pint like that.
that went super viral.
That went super viral. That one on one video alone on Facebook has something like 60 million views.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Now, do you think that's more because of her or you?
Not at all. It's
Come
just
on
an
now.
absolute
Come on
coincidence.
now.
It's an absolute coincidence that it's the only video I don't actually talk in.
You don't say a word.
Not a word. I just lick my lips and
Yeah, the cream's in your mustache, and she's an absolute 10.
yeah. Oh, she's 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's Irish lads looking at that and going, I'd like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
If
But
that's all it
it has everything. It has creamy pints, it has the sex appeal, and it has the woman as well.
takes, come on.
But anyway, you love Roscommon, admit it. I have absolutely no problem with Roscommon. That's only well,
Crack.
listen, if they give us back Balladreen, then we'll have definitely no problems. They stole Balladreen off us 120 years ago, and I haven't forgotten it.
You've got a long old memory. So
What's the crack, Kent? I will
how
bring.
many creamy pine
Actually, I want to
videos did
show.
you do?
Look at that.
There it is.
That was given to me by a good friend in America at one of the New York shows. Um.
How many creamy pint videos do you think you've done?
There has to be over 100 anyway.
It's just madness. Like
But people still want it.
We like
People still want it.
we try and not jump into a stereotype at all, and
Yeah,
we're actually an educated race.
we
of
are
people
indeed.
now, and
We are.
and then you bring a creamy pint into a glass, put a creamy pint in the glass,
Yeah.
and Irish people go fucking bananas.
Absolutely nuts. Not just Irish people, but the Irish diaspora abroad. I mean,
Lose their
they lose
canopy
their
altogether.
shit. I know that I can do like a mediocre video, and if all I have to do is produce a creamy pint at the end, and it goes,
Everyone just
and
goes,
everyone loses their shit. It's a
We're
it's
good.
it's a great way. It's a
We're an
great
awful
great
daft
niche. It's a great niche that
I
I
tell you
have.
this much, we're an awful daft bunch of cons.
Oh, stop. Now some of them are clever. The shopping for creamy pints one was clever. That's the first one.
Yeah.
That's the first one of the creamy fucking pints that went viral. That one went nuts. Now that was clever, but and there's been some clever ones after. But there's some of them I'm like, how am I going to get away with this? But I do. It just became a thing, and I love it. And if I don't do one for like 2 weeks, people go, "Where's the creamy fucking
they
pint?"
start worrying about you.
Yeah, there was even a flag flying around in. There was even a flag flying around at the Rugby World Cup that had creamy fucking pint.
Yeah.
On it. Yeah,
I
yeah,
saw
and
you
it kept
tagged in a lot.
kept tagging me in it. But that was a bit of crack. But sure, listen, it's all a bit of crack, and obviously, drink responsibly, enjoy yourself. Don't be an absolute tool bag. But yeah,
But
definitely.
if you are going to be a tool bag, make sure you get an absolutely belting story out of it.
Mm.
That's the only
Yeah.
advice.
Yeah, like the
Sometimes
story I
it could
had
be-
from the weekend that we're not going to mention anymore. You
No.
just have to. Yeah.
Watch the other videos. Watch the
Yes.
previous podcast. That would always be a good way to find out what we're talking about there.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of messages on YouTube. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube
Yes.
guys, jump over to the Dead Hedgehogs YouTube page.
I'm going to get in Who's this fella? This is Chris Sledgehammer Gavigan. He's on the Jet Hedgehogs podcast with myself and Pete. Sometimes when Pete is around, so come check us out. You were also a bit in the Hardy Bucks a few times
It was, yeah.
in a couple of episodes.
It was.
So he's in the live video as well that myself and Anne Clark do at the Big News Coming Soon podcast at the live shows. So get to that. There's only one of them left, and that's on the 23rd of December in the TF Royal in Castlebar. So that's a very
busy.
busy, yeah, it's a busy show, and also it's a shameless plug.
Yeah.
Shameless plug. That's the word I was looking for. Best cream in Connemara. Would Clifton be in Connemara? Would Clifton be in Connemara?
Clifton, yeah.
Would it be?
Yeah.
Well, then, is it Lowry's?
Oh yeah, Larry's being
Lowry's, yeah, Lowry's in Connemara.
They're still doing a pint of €4.80.
Is it? Is that what it is? There's one place still that's doing it under. It's €3.90.
Yeah.
Can't remember. I think the guru, not the Guinness guru. How are things from Richie from Athlone? How are things?
Not the Guinness guru.
No, it's the guru, but I'll always know him as the Guinness guru. Simple as that.
Will always be a Guinness guru to us.
Yeah. Would you drink Guinness straight from a can? I drink it.
Done it before.
I drink it out of the toilet, so I would if I needed to.
Done that before.
I'd rather not, but if needs must. If needs must.
What I want to know is because the thing is we kind of obsess about one stout.
Yeah.
We're obsessed about Guinness. Guinness is, in fact, probably the best marketing.
Oh, it's incredible marketing.
All they did was they flipped the harp,
yeah,
whacked it on a glass,
yeah,
and associated Guinness with Irish.
Put a creamy head on it.
Genius.
Invented the 2-part pour, which is a load of bollocks.
100%.
Yeah, it's a load of shite.
It's so much nonsense.
It's incredible marketing.
Now they would have used 2-part pour it was useful years ago when it was a pump.
Yeah.
It would be.
That is right. Do you ever see them pumping it? It was like having not having sex for about 4 months and then you squirt it out. That's how it came out. That's literally how it came out. That's some synopsis or some. Guinness Zero has been launched in Australia. It is an abomination, I presume. Yes, it is. I made a video about it. It's like.
I've had worse drinks.
Why would you bother? Why would you bother drinking Guinness Zero? Why would you bother drinking Guinness in Zero? It's like the video that I said, and it was an old joke.
You might want
it's like licking out your sister. It tastes the same. It tastes the same, but it's just not right.
That's a terrible image that we're going to slide past.
Right, but I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you about
a
few of the other stouts, and which one comes close, if not as good as Guinness.
Okay.
So for that, we're going to go on to the YouTube. So continue on to the YouTube channel, Dead Hedgehogs. Check it out, subscribe to it. We'll give it.
I want to know what you think of McGregor Stout.
Yeah, we'll be talking about McGregor Stout as well, and when I went up and done a video for Forge Stout, and I'll give you my honest opinion on that as well.
So
my honest opinion, and we'll talk about Island's Edge being not around anymore, being axed. So check out the Dead Hedgehogs YouTube channel, and we'll talk to you over there. There is a link on my stories, but there's definitely a link on the Dead Hedgehogs Instagram page. So head over, or just head over to YouTube, put in Dead Hedgehogs podcast. That's it. We'll talk to you later on. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll have the crack over on how do you get out of this. Woo! Oh, no, I didn't get out of it. Did I?
Did you? I don't think so. No.
Excellent. Job done.
Now, back to the important people on YouTube.
Right. So here we are. What camera are we on? Are we on both? Straight onto this one. Excellent. I can see myself on the camera as well. You see, it's all new finery we have, so it'll take a little bit of getting used to.
Push back a little bit.
Okay.
Work out the frame, and we'll chat to each other properly, and I'll keep an eye on
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That sounds good to me.
How are we still there in the chat, guys?
And if so, can you hear us? Does it sound okay? Why did I do that microphone? Microphones are the bane of my life, even on the live shows.
Everything. Yeah, I
The-
can understand why.
Anything that's this shaped, what would they call it? Phallically shaped?
Phalli- Phallically.
Phallically
Phallically.
shaped. This one won't stay up. That's what she said last night. But anyway, yeah. So we'll start talking about the questions that you want to ask me about
Yeah.
stout,
So, other stouts.
other stouts.
What do you think?
I have tried Murphy's, Beamish, Brennan's, Island's Edge, Forged. Just trying to think, is there any other ones that I've
Three
tried?
bucks.
$3.
Let's
$3.
say- let's
Less
say
said, the better there. There was a couple of other ones. There's a couple of craft stouts. We'll talk about them as well. O'Hara's craft stout is
Yeah.
one of them. And there's been a couple of other craft stouts. Actually, we get straight into craft stouts.
Yeah.
We'll just get rid of them. That will include the $3 left stout as well when it came out. $3 stout.
It's so hard to
Yeah.
get them right.
Yeah, it's so hard to get stout,
They-
especially stout.
Yeah, like the problem is that if you look at the stouts that are produced, they're more porters than a creamy.
Yeah, yeah,
pint.
yeah. That's what it is. It's hard to get that creaminess. Yeah, that
denseness,
creaminess at the top of the pint. Again, I could have said that's what she said last night, but it really is, and we discovered that. And you need a special gas. You need it to regulate it to the pinnacle, and that's where Guinness have it among everyone else.
Yeah,
They have the infrastructure. They have the taps in.
Yeah.
They have the
They're
gas
there
set up.
already.
They have a special gas, not like any of the other gases. So they're there already, and they make it very difficult
for anyone else.
for
to-
anyone else to get into any of the pubs. They're all over the world.
Yeah.
They have it sewn up. So for any of the other stouts to come in on Guinness, it's very difficult. Very difficult to even get into the pub, never mind to try and sell it. But we'll talk about the craft beers. They're not like you'll drink 2 or 3 of them and that's it, just to try them out.
Yeah.
Fair enough. If you like them, well then you're a better man or woman than me because they're just
think-
always
I
very
think-
tarry.
I think that you can get away with 1 or 2. You know, you'll have 1 or 2, but you won't stick at it for like a session.
Yeah.
You know, especially as you said, it's hard to get that creaminess, that kind of texture right.
Yeah.
And then, do they want to be the same?
Yeah, well, they know that they're not going to be.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. So the craft stouts are just that. They're craft. They're just like probably all craft beers. You're not going to spend. You're not going to drink 15 pints of any of them. I don't think. They're nice for a change. They're nice for maybe to have with dinner, to have accompany it with some cheese or some shit like that. Even though I like cheese. So that's pretty much craft stouts. That's what they are. Try them out, check them out, and if you like them, probably the best craft stout is the O'Hara's one. Was it the O'Hara's one? But the thing is, when we went down to taste the $3 stout,
Yes.
were you with me? You
I
were.
hear you.
Yeah. So they obviously in the brewery, they obviously had the gas correct, and it was coming from a draft. They had it bang on. It was nearly as good as Guinness, but it was that nearly as good as Guinness.
That is
I-
solidity.
I actually think that they had a Guinness barrel,
In there.
a Guinness barrel
Think
underneath
so?
the tap, and they were just trying to sell it to us. So that's what I think. It would not surprise me because it was completely different when we launched it in the SCEF. In fact, it was embarrassing. Let's call a spade a spade.
Oh,
I don't think we've
it
ever
was-
said it. It was embarrassing. The head was like they call it. Used to call it a skinhead. So you know,
Yeah.
you ever heard of the skinhead?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
just wanted like a little tiny white head.
Tiny little skinny one.
It was terrible. Terrible.
You know, one thing.
And we brought the Guinness guru down to that. It was embarrassing for him and me.
Well, the big problem. There was me, you, Pete,
Yeah,
and the Guinness
and the Guinness guru, yeah.
We had a chat. We were having a chat in the little corner there.
Mhm.
It just they couldn't get it right.
Yeah,
At all.
yeah.
And they couldn't get it right when they were in the pub to set it up.
Yeah.
Remember, you had a gig in Athlone.
Yeah, that is right. We
And
tried it
they
out in
couldn't get
Athlone
it right.
first, and they couldn't get it right at all. In fact, we had to tell the people that it was sold out
Yeah.
because we had 2 nights of it, and we just said that's embarrassing.
Take that shit.
People were buying it, and you could see that there was just half pints
Yeah.
left
All
everywhere.
over the
It
place.
was just tarry, nothing like what we had tried. So that was that really.
I
And
think the other thing was that what they if you want to try and basically steal the infrastructure off Guinness, which is what if you're going to be a stout, that's where you have to go after. That's your market.
Mhm.
You have to put them in Guinness kegs.
Yeah, yeah. That's again.
Whereas the $3 stout
Yeah.
was in Heineken kegs,
Yeah.
which means they used to have Heineken lines.
That's right.
Heineken lines were made for a different
With
gas.
different gas. It was just. It wasn't going to work. It wasn't going. And we
Everything.
tried. We tried 2 batches, and that was it. Like we couldn't.
No.
And plus as well, it was a microbrewery, so they couldn't make it quick enough either.
No.
So.
We'd be waiting weeks for it.
Yeah. So it was a waste of time. It was a great idea. I'd love to do it again. I'd love to get in with a crowd, and that might be actually happening. But that's
The branding looked good.
Yeah.
I like.
oh
I
the
like-
Brandon
we-
the
we-
Brandon
we
was
did-
class.
But that was down to us.
Yeah, well, that was down to us.
I'll be honest. That
Yeah.
part was we did. Like I just think that we have to. Well, look, we did. I thought we had done our part, and I think they
Can't
thought-
hear your man. Which one can't you hear?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me? Do, do, do.
Either way, what we have to look at is compared the, the the points that you want to tackle are the ones that are like Guinness.
Yeah. So I like the main ones or the main ones were Island's Edge, Forged Stout, Beamish, Murphy's, and I'm going to add another one in called Brennan's,
Okay.
which you're going to hear about. I'd say over the next while, if you haven't heard of it already, I'd say southeast of the country you probably have, and if you're in England, you might have heard it too. So, but we'll talk about that. Can hear okay. So
So
Islands Edge is just shite after one. Islands Edge is gone, so it's gone now anyway. So, but the thing is,
so let's tackle Island's Edge first.
we'll tackle Islands Edge first, and
First pint of Island's Edge was where?
in Islands in the
brewery.
brewery, I done a video with the two Johnnies,
And the Guinness Guru.
and the Guinness Guru down in Cork in the Heineken factory. Oh, well, how long ago was that? Was it beginning of the summer?
Probably, yeah, I was going to say 6 months ago.
Yeah, about 6 months ago. So people were texting me, "You have to do a video on Island's Edge." Gone. I said, "I really can't because they paid me a lot of money.
Yeah,
You know, they couldn't. It would have been a kick in the balls altogether, and I don't want to be that cheeky. I am a cheeky. Definitely couldn't. I
But gotta
definitely
put-
couldn't.
Brennan's bread on the table, like.
Yeah, exactly. So definitely I couldn't have a whack at them. But now that they're gone, I'm going to say that it was good at the brewery. It's not. I seen a comment today. Island's Edge was a stout made for stout drinkers that didn't like stout.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah,
I
it was
wasn't worse.
lighter.
It was It was easy. It was lighter, and there wasn't much of a taste to it.
No, and also I think I think the glass itself.
Screwed them.
Yeah, the glass definitely screwed them.
Yeah, it looked. It's too like you need. there's
It looks
something
trendy. It's
trendy,
like a glass that should
a
be
lager glass.
yeah, like a lager glass or a shandy glass or even a cocktail glass or even like a soda glass.
Yeah.
I think the glass definitely let them down. The name was a bit funky as well. You know,
Yeah,
Island's
I
Edge.
suppose they were trying to go for some of that kind of, maybe Dublin
Yeah.
trendy kind of sitting in the
think-
in the cafe.
I
with the
think them-
dog.
I think they missed a trick as well when they didn't go after. It was definitely, and I'm not going to try and sound sexist here. It was definitely a woman's Guinness.
What would be sexist about that?
No, what I mean by that is,
Let us know in the comments. Was
what I mean by that is,
well, the branding around it was a little effeminate.
it was, and also it was lighter to taste, and instead of that heaviness that is associated with Guinness, that I actually don't think is too heavy. But I definitely think it was a more feminine stout. And I actually brought that up when we were having the chat down there. I said, why don't you go after women's? Because women would love to try it, I'm sure.
Yeah,
And they said, no, 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 this is the way it is. We're just that they're not going to go down that road. And I actually think they missed a big
maybe.
trick there. Better backpedal that one. But I've said it
Jade,
now. I've said what I've said.
Jade would. I'm sure Jade will be after you.
Yeah. Um, but that's no offense to women, obviously intended.
No doubt, Jade would drink plenty pints
I
of
would say
Guinness.
so.
You know,
Yes. Yeah.
good old Jade.
There's plenty of women that probably drink me under the table with Guinness. So that's Island's Edge.
to
It
be
was.
honest, now mate, it would be hard sometimes because you can have some Larry nights.
Yeah, I
Like two or
can.
three
Yeah.
pints.
Yeah, I know. It's
Swing
probably if I haven't eaten or if I'm tired or if I've ran a lot or I'm stressed out,
first, yeah.
3 or 4 pints. But I won't give in. You see, that's the problem. If I give in at the 2 or 3 and head off home, that would be something.
All the
But
way to the bitter end, my
no.
friend.
We'll stick it out. We stick it out the better end. I liked the O'Hara's. Yeah, it's probably the best of the craft stouts.
They're a long time established. In
Yeah,
fairness.
yeah, yeah. And again, like you need trial and error, and you just have, and you need money. You need money to pump into these things. People that get to the top of the mountain, they didn't fall there. You know, you have to build it up.
Yeah. Your last pint of Island's Edge,
My last pint of Island's Edge was actually
Roddy Bones,
Roddy Boland's with the two Johnnies again. So we done
and myself,
and yourself. So we had two. We had
Brew.
and Tommy Brew. We had two. I had 2 nights with the two Johnnies on Island's Edge, and I thought that was actually going to be my last pint of Island's Edge. But about 2 weeks later, we were doing a show in the Wild Duck in
Oh, yeah.
Temple Bar, and as it happened, without us being told, Island's Edge took over the night, sponsored the night, and we had to drink Island's Edge again. So it was like a
And you
promotion.
didn't get
We weren't asked. We weren't asked about it at
that's a
all. So
sneaky
yeah.
little push.
So I don't know how that came about, but it did. So that was the last we had of Island's Edge, and we were meant to give away like 5 or 6 prizes that night, and to all different people, and some of them were like Apple watches. They spent a fortune on marketing,
Yeah.
fortune. One of them was an Apple watch that was like €800 or something like that. I think that was the top prize. Then there was something worth €500. And in the end, they realised that no one was buying the Island's Edge.
Yeah.
You had to buy a pint of the Island's Edge
Where
to
did the
get a
prizes
ticket.
go to? You think?
Oh well, one person won them all.
I wonder.
Yeah,
I wonder.
me.
I
no,
wonder.
no, one person won
Just
them all.
won all the prizes.
All the big prizes. I'm pretty sure.
Convenient.
Were you there that night?
No, but I remember hearing that, and I go,
Yeah, one person won them
really?
all. Yeah,
one person,
Yeah.
one person that was there on the night
yeah.
that may have or may not have
And
connections to Islands
and I
Edge
think
Heineken.
and I think as well the person in the crowd that won that watch and all the stuff could have done with not like he didn't need to wear it. He didn't
Yeah.
need to win it.
He didn't work
I
for
remember
Heineken
thinking
by any
that
chance,
fella's
did he?
fella's really well off. Quick 17 ever have a creamy pint in the Gravediggers in Glasnevin? Yes, of course I did. I actually
had
done
many.
a pod. Huh?
I've had many.
I've had many. Yeah, I've been there a couple of times. I done a podcast with the Guinness Guru in the Gravediggers, and it was absolutely class. I've done some brilliant podcasts, but that was definitely one of the best. And the damn thing didn't record. It
I'm
didn't
telling
record. It
you,
was a
it's
pain in the
like-
balls.
Can I just say, you might understand the absolute pain.
Yeah,
It's
It's horrible.
hurt in your heart.
yeah, because you'll never once you nail a podcast down, you'll never get it as good as the first time you do it.
We went down. We all went down to Ballina and we recorded a podcast
Yeah,
with
with
Pork
Parker Hora,
and I came home and the sound card
never
just
recorded.
absolutely
One of our best GA podcasts that we done between ourselves, we recorded it and the audio saved, but the visual didn't.
gone.
Yeah, so we couldn't put it up on YouTube, or I
Oh,
think we did
yeah,
actually,
we just
but
put
it's just
the
not
audio.
the same.
Yeah.
It's horrible. Technology is you just feel like
break your heart. You feel like everything's going right.
yeah,
You've got
yeah.
everything.
You get
set
into
up.
a flow and everything is going perfect, and next thing you realize at the end of it that's it hasn't even recorded. I've heard some horror stories when it comes to video, and I mean even with RTE, people going up for days
Yeah.
or for a full day of videoing, and then turned around and either someone deletes it or it hasn't been
Uh,
recorded at all. It's just
I
horrible.
we did a live on Monday. Was it Monday? Monday
Uh,
or Sunday? Monday, I think it
yeah,
was. You know
with
where
Pete
where
Monday. Yeah,
you told your story and obviously the watch and the
yeah, yeah,
reveal
yeah.
and all that, right?
That was some story.
Well, I went and I was like, I'm gonna actually try and cut off the last minute or two where the internet broke down and we had to break it into two parts.
Yeah.
Well, I went
Yes.
and
Yes.
I cut that out
Yeah.
and I went back to it 5 minutes later when it should have rendered.
Yeah.
I came back and everything was gone
Oh no.
except the 2 minutes of static.
Oh
And
Jesus.
I was like, oh no, the story.
Yeah.
So
Fuck.
I had to do a little bit of
A
tinkering
reconnaissance mission.
around, find where the file went and all that stuff. It breaks my heart.
Yeah. Technology is
That's
horrible.
why
You kind of need someone on the sideline
that knows what they're doing.
that knows what they're doing. Yeah. Kent, the Jim Morrison thing is class. Absolutely perfect. We found a beautiful home for it there behind the camera or in front of the camera. Step back from the mic or back up from the mic, cowboy. How's that now? Is it peaking? Like I said, we're getting used to these new things. These microphones
It'll
are
get
actually
better.
good enough for performing live on
Oh
stage.
yeah,
Actually, yeah,
these are as good a mic as we can, but like it's just trying to it's the cabling, it's trying to get everything set up so it makes it work easy. So we'll get it all right
yeah,
eventually.
exactly. John O'Reilly, what does John O'Reilly say? I
He
have,
says I've tried Island's Edge forged out or Island's Edge forged out. I just get a horrible aftertaste. They feel boring, if that makes sense. I don't get the aftertaste with Guinness.
yeah. Well, I've talked about Island's Edge there, and now I'm going to talk about. I'll leave McGregor's one till the end. Um, what else have we there? Uh,
Well, yeah. Why don't
Island's
what
Edge.
else?
I didn't get much of an. Oh, do you
Mercies
know
and
what?
beans. Let's go
I
with
used
that.
I used to get oh, and we'll talk about Kilkenny as well.
Oh yeah.
Kilkenny's. Um, the aftertaste after the Island's Edge. The last thing on the Island's Edge is it was very much like you drank a cup of tea.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I
And
actually didn't mind that.
when I said that to them, they said it's funny you should say that because we actually use tea leaves
In the
in the
brewing
ingredients.
process.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So my taste buds for creamy pints isn't too bad at all. Um,
Well, you don't smoke, so
Tigged Boo Cowboy. What does that mean?
I
Done.
don't.
Okay. So moving on to Murphy's and Beamish, both in Cork. I've tried them. And which one is the big Limerick one?
Big Limerick one. What is the Big Limerick one?
It's either Murphy's or Beamish.
No, they're both Cork.
I know they're both Cork, but there's one of them particularly big in Limerick.
Oh, really? I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
If anyone's from Limerick, let us know. It's definitely one of them, but both of them are made in Cork. Um, the Murphys, yeah, I liked the Murphys. They're both stronger than Guinness. They both have a stronger, stouty, roasty taste. Um, the Murphys I would prefer over the Beamish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the way it's around. Which is one of them is very smoky, and I'm pretty sure it's the Beamish one. Um, Bemis is strictly Cork sold. Well, then it's obviously Murphy's in Limerick. So, but the Beamish is definitely. I drink both of them, but I wouldn't be able to drink. I'm pretty sure it's the Beamish one. I wouldn't be able to drink that regularly or too much of it all night. But again, they're established for so long, and they're both brewed in the Heineken brewery.
Yeah. The other thing. So do you know
And
what?
it's actually where the Heineken brewery is. It's either they've taken over from the Beamish or Murphy's old brewery. They run right beside each other.
So one thing I
Fascinating
know
brewery.
for sure is that Heineken, and if you want to sponsor this podcast, Heineken, reach out to us.
Yeah.
We'd love
And
that.
then we love Murphy's
it
and
would
Beamish.
change my opinion
Yeah.
on Heineken overnight, to be honest. But
I'd be doing frothy fucking pints.
I'd be swimming to Holland for you.
um,
What they used to do is obviously there was a bit of a trend of each pub having their own signature beer. So say the Mez they had their own lager called Mesmerize,
Okay, I didn't know that.
and then
That's
they
a good
had
bar, actually.
yeah, back in the day when there was the Mes.
Oh, it's gone now.
Oh, it's been gone.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Okay.
gone for the last couple of years. It was one of my favorite places to go
I
for.
was I was in a pub up in Kilkelly and doing a show the other night, and I
Oh,
brought the
really?
house down.
I was gonna say. I said, did you bring the house down?
So for anyone that doesn't know the story, there's a pub in Kilkelly that after 100 years fell to the ground with 5 people in it. Actually, like not
Collapsed.
just a little bit collapsed, flattened,
Yeah, bad
because a building was taken down
next door.
next door during the week, and it obviously weakened the structure, and the whole building came down. So I shouldn't be joking about that actually, because it's a 100-year-old family business, and that's pretty sad.
And Duffy's in fairness were they're like fine, they're a good family.
Yeah, a very good family. Yeah, very good family.
Colin and the guys hope they're
Yeah,
all well.
yeah.
Yeah. So they basically Heineken were going to bars and go, "Do you want your own signature pint?" And they
Okay,
go, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. Why not?"
but it's Heineken.
But it'd be no, it'd be Foster's,
Oh, wow.
or they'd
Fuck.
basically get Murphy's, and they'd go, "Well, this is the Mez Stout," and they just whack on, and they did that all over the place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard of that before, and that's a little bit what they've done with Forge Stout.
Yeah,
Forge Stout is actually Porterhouse Stout.
yeah,
It's made, Porterhouse in Dublin.
Porthouse, yeah.
Yeah, so they're actually making Forge Stout. For anyone that doesn't know that.
If you
Um,
look at the can, if you look at the can, you'd be able to figure it out.
okay, I didn't know that it actually said it on it.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, it
But
doesn't.
if you look where it's brewed, and then you
Okay,
look
right,
where
right,
the
right, right,
brewery
right.
of it is,
Yeah.
it's brewed in the Porthouse
Okay.
premises.
So there's two stouts that I want to talk about left, right? And one of them is Brennan's that I've met
And
before.
Kilkenny's.
Huh?
Kilkenny's.
Oh, and Kilkenny's. Kilkenny's, I've only ever had it once, and it was lovely.
They
And-
sell it in Mulligan's on Poolbeg Street.
Okay. I think I must
Do
have had
great
it. I think I
prices.
had it only out of a can, And Story Boys, I am hooked on the whiskey barrel. What?
Barrel Imperial Stouts now. So the whiskey barrel Imperial Stout. So aged. You basically what you do is you get your stout, stick it into an imperial whiskey barrel, and let it age. It soaks in some of the whiskey.
Wow.
Tastes good.
Well, I heard
So
a
the
little bit about
so
whiskey.
say if you do,
Did you know the barrels of whiskey, the actual barrels without the whiskey in them, are cost a fortune?
Of course,
They're very valuable because they can be they're used. They're specially made for making whiskey, obviously. So you had a porterhouse one tonight, 12%. Wow, that'd put hairs in your balls. So it would. Um, I must try them because it is porterhouse that make forged out.
That could well be my mate Niall O'Connor, and I hope it is. 'Cause he's a
Okay.
Scottish, and you can
Shout
get
out to Niall O'Connor. Fair play to you. We've
it. And
Dubliner
if it's
stout
not,
here.
it's just another good old
a good
skin
skin as
called
well.
Niall O'Connor.
We've Dubliner stout here in Estonia, supposed to be local Guinness knockoff. It's actually fairly class. Does the job. Interesting.
Is that in Tallinn? I was in a pub called the my boy Niall O'Connor.
Um,
I was in Tallinn many moons ago.
yeah.
Yeah, broke me heart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. What was his name?
yeah, Terry. Terry Norman.
Yeah. But yeah. So I haven't heard of the Dubliner Stout, and I can only imagine that it'd be. I find it hard to believe that it would be not Guinness and as good as
Yeah.
Guinness.
Could be.
Which brings me into my next thing. Which stout do I think is closest to Guinness that I've ever tried? That's not Guinness.
Mm.
And what's left is Forge Stout and Brennan Stout. So Brennan Stout is made in Wexford, I'm pretty sure, and they're also making it, I think, in England. Now that's the last when I was talking to them last, and that might have changed, but it is definitely the closest stout that I've ever tasted that comes near Guinness so far. When I say so far, is I've only ever had Forge Stout out of the can. When we done the videos, so I've been told that if I try it out of the draft in the Black Forge, that I would be pleasantly surprised, and I will eventually.
But if it is plain by Porthouse,
Yeah.
then it's not
Okay.
going to be the equivalent of
Okay.
Guinness.
Right. Well, I'm going to try it myself anyway, and I'm pretty sure that he's putting it into a lot of bars. He's bought up a lot of bars around the country, not just in Dublin.
McGregor has.
Yeah, whether it's his in his name or not, it's
Um,
definitely it's his
look,
money anyway.
what do you think of McGregor, and what do you think of Forged and
Well, let me
Beer?
finish off Brennan's first because I want to give them a
Brennan's
shout out
first,
because I met up with them before and we were meant to do stuff, and we might still in the future, um, and it's very good. Pete was with us as well, and even out of the bottle they had bottles of it, and that was pretty good as well.
yeah,
And that's the closest thing that it had the creamy pint, it had everything, and I think it could even be done off Heineken gas.
possibly.
Yeah. So that was a big plus as well. Again, it's all to do with the taps and the barrels as well. But it seemed to work, and that's the closest one that I've ever tasted that came to Guinness. And now getting on to the Ford Stout and Conor McGregor. You have to admire what Conor McGregor has done. And I don't care what anyone says. You have to admire what he has achieved in life.
Hmm.
His sporting achievements, his business achievements are just as good as his sporting achievements. Now, a lot of people are going to say that his reputation precedes him, and it probably does. I would like to think that a lot of that is social media, is the public, and just that mob mentality. And yes, he plays up to the crowd. I personally haven't met him face to face,
Hmm.
but I've met a few of his colleagues, and um, they seem okay fellas. Bit in wild, Dublin, Crumlin, uh, as you would expect, a bit rough around the edges, and I don't think they'll mind me saying that, but they get the job done. They get the job done. So, but as for the stout, that was a that was a strange day. You were gone
Was
for that.
I was at the Ireland England match.
Yes, that is right. But I had Martin Maloney with me, and I had Terry Norman, and I had Mark Mulholland. Was Tom Kilgallen with me as well? No, Tom wasn't there. So anyway, I was meant to do the video on a Collins Street. I had this idea to make the video. They wanted a video made, and they wanted to pay me for it, which I haven't been paid for yet, by the way.
Hint,
Um,
hint,
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 hint.
hint,
Um,
hint.
so
We're watching you, McGregor.
yeah, I'll come up and I'll knock you out, you cunt.
You said that so earnestly into the camera.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
No
you
one,
really meant
no
it.
one, no one that he'd never watched this. But anyway,
Yeah, of course.
so I had the idea of the video that I was going to do the spires going into the sky, but they landed in a Lamborghini and a pickup truck on in Temple Bar, like up the Temple Bar, up the pedestrian street. Um,
It sounds like a
yeah,
joke.
yeah. And I had Martin Maloney and Terry Norman with
Yeah,
me. It was crazy. We blocked up the whole street because people started gathering up around us,
of course.
wanting to take pictures, all this sort of stuff. It was absolutely mental. So much so that the guards came along and moved us along.
Of
So by
course.
the time we done the video, Martin Maloney was there as well. Uh, the only place we could take it without a crowd was beside a bin right beside the Liffey, like the worst place in Dublin to take the video. Anyway, we'd done the video. That was grand. One take. They wouldn't even let me do it a second take. They wouldn't even let me check it.
No, they just wanted
They
you
just
to go.
wanted me to do it and do it, and that was grand. It came out all right. I would have definitely done a better job on my own. And it's grand. It went up and it had millions of views and everything like that. That was fantastic. Now for the stout itself,
Yeah.
I drank it out of a can. It was warm. It was in a glass. It was in a warm glass. It was a warm can. I poured it in, and it was definitely better than Island's Edge.
Okay.
It was way better than Island's Edge, but it obviously wasn't as good as Guinness, even out of a can. But in saying that, I was told that if I try it out of the draft, that I would be pleasantly surprised, and it could be just as good as Guinness. But for me, obviously, I was drinking it out of a can, so you can't really judge it. But it definitely wasn't as good as Guinness, in my opinion. But I will try it on draft, and I will give an honest opinion on it. So, really and truly, the jigs and the reels, Guinness is still
Oh,
a
it's
king.
out on its own.
Yeah,
Out on its own.
yeah. It's waiting to be toppled.
Yeah.
You
Um,
know.
I'll
But in
read out some of these comments. Will
yeah,
I?
read out some of them comments, and
Okay.
then I want to say something about Guinness as well.
Perfect.
That's not so nice.
Dubliners Stout. By Kieran says Dubliners Stout, a grand drink, but work all day and it with the and sun gets on your nerves. Um, Shane Foley says proper 12 was made by Bushmills and is dirt. The
That
stout
is correct.
is
It's made by
he
Bushmills.
says
Yeah.
the stout is not bad. And Kent goes, could listen to you lads and the stories all night. You should do a podcast.
Well, yeah.
Great idea.
Well, this is the podcast. Well,
Emma,
we'll keep doing the podcast.
Emma and Maureen are shut down. Perfect timing.
Excellent.
Great job, Kent. And Maureen Carrick goes Guinness with blackcurrant. It's an abomination.
It's like
but
if you want to go
it-
that, go to a cocktail bar.
Well, look. In fairness, Noreen might want to pint to Guinness and blackcurrant. It's a traditional.
Well, that
drink
is
for a
true.
lady
Yeah,
now,
that
you
is
know?
true. Yeah, and I shouldn't dismiss it, but yeah, it's
Diane starts laughing at the fact that it's pint of application day. Is that why I wrote down? Oh,
oh no, is that what you put down? Can you
Maybe,
change that after?
no. I can change it after anyway. But yeah,
Well,
if you
it
wanna
should be.
apply-
Maybe it was Diane that made the mistake. I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll
John
check it
O'Reilly
out.
says more podcasts. Kent goes, my best pint was in the hero's home, O'Donoghue's. Drank, sank, repeated.
Excellent. That's a very good drink.
I
Sank.
like it.
Repeated. I will be checking that out.
And
Where is
best
my
pub in
hero's
Cork?
home? Best pub in Cork. Let me just think about that.
Um,
Best pub in Cork. And-
talking about. So what about? Go on, you've thought of one.
Yeah, there's one across from the city limits. This is like it's the Shinné. Is it Shinné? And then there's another one beside it. And also there's a class bar down by down the street. It's a German or a Russian dude that owns it. Now I don't know about it. That's a craft beer, and he was mad crack when I went in. He fed us with whiskey before the show, both times. He was obviously like the videos. He was mad for the crack. Clancy's, I like Clancy's as well. Reardon's, although no, maybe not for the pint. But Clancy's was all right. But definitely the two across from the city limits, they were two nice bars. You know, and all the times I've been, also the Crane in Cork. They're all coming to me now. Yeah, they're all coming to me now. Yeah, but I'd say the best of them is the one across from the city limits. Is it Shinné or the one beside it? Either one. By the time I got to them, I had a few creamy pints already. Where was I there now? I was going to say something.
You were going to say something about Guinness.
Yes, I was. Right. Guinness, right. Now, I love pints of Guinness, and I've been doing videos for 3 years now on pints of Guinness. And not even a bar mat have they sent out or made any contact at all.
Now, in fairness, your buddy the Guru.
Yeah, but he didn't get nothing off them either.
No, I was going to say he put Guinness to his name,
Yeah, he did.
and he didn't get a tap out.
Not a thing. They're as tight as two coats of paint
Do you know why?
because they didn't need
They
to.
don't need to.
Yeah, I know. I understand that. But then I know some of my other friends who might have pages, maybe not even as big as mine, and they get sent out hampers worth €500 or €600. Like,
Well,
what the fuck?
I know.
But the only interaction that I've had with Guinness, right? Good to see you boys back, or am I not on the right yokes? You're definitely on the right yokes,
You're on the right
and
yokes.
we are back, and we will be back from now till the end of time. And we have a new setup, and hopefully new sound, and hopefully better equipment. But the only interaction I've had with Guinness was when I was in the Galway races. I was patroned to the Galway races.
With Bertie Ahern.
Not with Bertie, not that time.
The brown envelopes are flying.
But I was
in the Guinness tent.
I was in the bar.
Beef for salmon was running.
Beef for salmon was right. That's a long time ago. I was in the bar, and I was with Alan Clark, and I was given a pint in a Rockshore plastic glass.
That's right.
Right. Now I done this video, and I had to keep it clean enough because it was for the Galway races. and I don't think I cursed in it at all. I said something like, "What in the sorcery is this?" You know, I was, "What the fuck is this?" That's what I wanted to say, and I put it up. And my abomination was the fact that it was in a rockshore glass, not that it was in a
The
plastic
plastic
cup,
glass,
because
yeah.
everyone was getting plastic cups, and that's just the way it is. Although I'd rather not. But everyone, it was on the papers.
Yeah.
It was like it was shared to the papers and everything. Um, that I was giving out about it being in a plastic cup. It wasn't. It was the fact that it was a Rockshore glass, and I have this thing going with Rockshore, even though it's made by Guinness as well. Um, it's the only interaction that I've had. They contacted the Galway races and Alan Clark for me to take down the video. That's the only interaction
you?
I've ever. No, did I? Fuck.
I
No
knew you
way.
didn't. I knew you didn't, but I just wanted that
No,
reaction.
I
to
would.
be
I didn't. I
honest.
wouldn't take down
do you
the.
think?
I wouldn't take down the sweating or the sweating like a. I'm not going to get the page banned.
We just started then. He's
Yeah.
trying to get it banned, guys.
Yeah, I'm not going to get the page banned. But anyway, I won't. I won't take no videos down. They'll have to be taken down.
Yeah.
So they will.
Take
No.
down the channel.
Or
That's,
they,
that's something you
they,
wanted me to test.
they may take my life, but they'll never take my freedom.
Just freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about in relation to drinking?
Not really. I could go on to like some of the best nights we have, but sure,
I will do that another night.
We'll do that another night.
Well, I think, Joe, we've done a good hour.
We have.
What we'll do is, right? I'm back from Belgium on Tuesday. I'm going away for a couple of days.
Huh?
I still chill out for myself over in Belgium.
Oh yes, we might do a live from there.
Might do that. But
Oh, Chris has finally entered the frame.
oh, our boy
Great
Chrissy
stream.
boy.
How did you stay? How do you know it was a great stream? Were you holding back in this, Chris? Were you? It's
Usually
not like
he's
you.
straight in there.
Yeah, usually
Straight
you'd be
in,
on
no
the phone
kissing.
and to jump on.
Yeah.
How did you restrain yourself from commenting until now, Chris?
What about right on Tuesday? We'll go into your trip to America with our boy Chrissy.
We
Pears.
will trip to America, and what all that's gone on in the last 3 months. It has been a hectic 3 months. I keep meaning to do it. That might take actually 2 podcasts.
Yeah.
From the marathons to the live shows to the summer to the trip to America, I would love to do a podcast, get it recorded, get people involved, and just it was just crazy.
We'll do one
It was
of
just
these
crazy.
lives again. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to the page, please do subscribe.
Please do.
If you could like the video, that would just boost us up to another level.
Excellent.
That would be so
Noreen
good.
Carrick says, "Don't do it again." How does she mean? Don't do the podcast again, or don't do the sweating joke again?
Yeah,
Could
it's
have
the
been.
joke.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the joke.
Crazy but good times all around. Yes, it was. Chris.
We have to go through the controversies that you've been.
Yeah, I've been in a few. And I could be in another one. I have an idea in my head that I think might get me into more trouble.
I like it. I do like it.
I do, and that's
guys,
going to be coming to a screen near you.
Guys, thanks a lot for jumping in. It's been great chatting with you. Cheers, mate. Thank you for. It's good.
We'll
been a
shift
good
now.
stream.
We'll shift
It's
now
been a good
afterwards.
stream. Guys, yeah, please do subscribe and have plenty pints.
Yeah.
Pint
Take it easy,
appreciation.
guys.
See you
Until
later.
the next time, stay safe, stay healthy.
Stay away from yourself.
Good luck.